Welcome to CTV News Your Canada. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
"11-year-old Everly and 9-year-old Charlotte Hartley are adventurous young girls. They enjoy spending time outdoors searching for new furry friends. The pair sadly lost their grandmother to stage 4 pancreatic cancer last year.
She was awesome. We liked baking cookies together and like a whole ton of other stuff like that.
Soon after, the sisters decided to take their love of animals and use it to make a difference.
She was an animal lover too, like us, and we love animals. So we decided to make dog bandanas.
Selling the bandanas for $10 each, Everly and Charlotte have since raised over $3,500 for pancreatic cancer research.
I wanted to have get the money really quickly, so we could get it quick enough to get more research for her, but we didn't. But I'm glad that it could help some people.
Each dollar has been donated to the Baker Centre for Pancreatic Cancer at London Health Sciences Centre, the same place their grandmother received care.
I feel like this is a really important thing, and I feel like we both really like helping people.
The sisters say they hope their efforts will lead to better outcomes for patients in the future, but know their grandmother continues to look down on them every day.
I think she would also be really proud, and she would be happy how we done this and that we did it for her.
Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
This former Regina streetcar looks like new, the result of 23,000 hours of volunteer work by an Alberta group. It returned to the rails at an Edmonton park this month.
Well, one of the things I'm always surprised at is how passionate our members are in doing the restoration. We want to get them done as accurately as possible to what they were originally. In some cases, like with the Regina streetcar, we have photos from the manufacturer as well as blueprints.
The Edmonton Radio Rail Society received the streetcar as a donation from the city of Regina back in the 1990s. The group had been looking for streetcars to restore for Fort Edmonton Park. Regina streetcar number 42 is one of 10 found on the prairies and returned to operation.
Well, we had a group of our members scour Western Canada in the early 1980s to try and find old abandoned streetcars. And we managed to come up with about 20 of them, Edmonton, and as well as examples from Calgary, Regina, Saskatoon, and even Brandon, Manitoba.
Regina operated streetcars from 1911 until 1950, ending service not long after a major transit garage fire destroyed much of the transit fleet.
It wiped out most of the rolling stock, which included at the time not only streetcars but trolley buses and a few diesel buses that they had in their fleet as well.
The Edmonton group has also restored a Saskatoon maintenance streetcar that dates back to 1907.
So we have a 1907 Saskatoon maintenance car, big yellow beast, and then our 1928 Regina Municipal Railway passenger streetcar, which is behind me.
A few years ago, Regina Transit considered restoration projects of its own, but didn't have the resources needed. The city is pleased that Edmonton volunteers were able to get the job done. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Women's sports have seen a surge in support from the launch of the PWHL to the much-anticipated arrival of the WNBA's expansion into Canada with the Toronto Tempo. But there is more room to grow.
It's still such an emerging market, particularly in Canada, but we've seen incredible momentum.
The third annual ESPNW Summit Canada brought people from across the country to help continue the conversation to elevate women and girls in all levels of sport.
Women's sport is an ecosystem, and I think from the grassroots all the way up to professional, it's important to help foster that.
Guest speakers from Olympic athletes to broadcasters and business owners share their stories and how we can all continue to help level the playing field.
We have to keep it going because we still need that support. We still need the education. We still need the financial support. We still need the fans, and we still need to grow it at the grassroots level. So conversations like this, days like this, are so critically important.
With a major focus on growing support for young athletes.
The pro teams are amazing, and it took so long to get those pro teams here, but we also need to remember the bottom levels and how that needs to grow fans, leaders of the future.
For those who weren't able to attend the summit today, you can visit their website, ESPNWSummitCanada.ca, to watch each of the guest speakers. Jessica Smith, CTV News.
Obviously, we're disappointed with the result. It's not what we wanted, but I'm proud of this team.
One day after the Oilers came up short in the Stanley Cup final, the Moss Pit is getting its now customary cleanse post-playoffs. The mood here is reflective, somber, but not sad.
The team did great. They hammered hard and tried to put it away, but we did our best effort, and hopefully next year we can take it.
They got somewhere, and that's good, but then they kind of lost it, but it's okay. We all lose some to win some.
Seeing the new generation with the little kids with the McDavid jerseys on, we're all on the same team here looking for the same outcome.
Inside Ice District's Oilers store, merchandise is still moving despite last night's result.
What exactly are you picking up today?
Well, it's an Oilers Margaritaville hoodie.
Nice.
Yes, two of my favorite things in the world.
Fans remembering the connections they made.
To see the number of people that were down here for every game, we home and away, it's inspiring to see that many people coming out.
Forget those daily conflicts for a while. We're all pulling for the team. We're all pulling in the same direction.
Many say the mood the playoffs made shouldn't be discounted just because of how it ended or the consequences of a lost mayoral bet.
I would have to unfortunately wear Panthers jersey once again.
Do you at the very least just get to take the old one out of storage?
Oh, well, we put the old one into the museum yesterday, right?
Well, there'll be two there.
Yeah.
Looking back, while the Oilers didn't make it all the way, people we spoke to say the playoffs have brought people together.
Like coming down here has just been like being like you're part of a family. Like these guys behind me, everyone, like you high five everyone, just jumping when we score. It's just amazing every time you come down here.
Leaving Edmontonians a little closer than they were before. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
It's an extracurricular project that goes above and beyond. University of Calgary students are using their free time to create a satellite to launch into the upper atmosphere.
It's such a neat experience to get to work on a hands-on team like this that's actually creating something that gets to go to space.
The Calgary to Space team started in 2020 and is doing final testing before the satellite is scheduled to board a SpaceX rocket this year.
Preparing it to do vibration testing, where we want to see that it can withstand the conditions of being in a rocket as it launches to space.
It's roughly the size of a loaf of bread and will orbit about 500 kilometers above Earth, taking images, collecting data, and testing an adjustable arm. It could provide insight about a phenomenon discovered by Alberta skywatchers. The strong thermal emission velocity enhancement, also known as STEVE, creates purple and green light in the night sky, similar to aurora borealis.
We have some instrumentation on FrontierSat to study the plasma in Earth's space environment. To measure how it moves. So in a way, it's kind of like a high-tech windsock.
He's planning to study data from the student's satellite.
Very exciting to see our satellite be a part of like a research paper, and to see it's going to be actual published to the public and shared to the other researchers.
Building a device for space is only part of the challenge. The students also had to raise about $200,000 and navigate federal and international regulations.
Space is so expensive that generally a lot of people are cut out of it completely, but as more and more student teams kind of stand up and we commercialize space a little bit more, projects like CubeSats become a lot more feasible, which means that students like us get lucky opportunities to send something to space.
Some of the students are hoping to see their creation take off in person. Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
When Sky Olette posted a video of herself dancing to a Tate McRae song, she didn't think much of it. But when it caught the eye of a respected choreographer and director in Los Angeles, it started a journey.
A couple months after I posted it, this girl named Menina Fortunato
commented on it, and then I just started following her. We started DMing each other, then she invited me to join her program called The Business of Dance.
On top of her studies, Olette has been taking online courses to learn about the business side of dance in Hollywood, and her performance there got noticed too.
She saw how good I was doing in it, and she gave me a $500 scholarship to the Hollywood Summer Tour.
While in Los Angeles, she'll be training with industry professionals and studios, getting a behind-the-scenes look at the entertainment industry.
I will have like photo shoots, red carpet walks, and music videos and talent agency showcases that, and like be on TV, that hopefully it will take me far in my career.
Sky's parents were hesitant at first, but they see her passion and the opportunity that lays ahead of her.
Something that we're really looking forward to is the agencies that are going to be there, and she's going to be able to have seminars, like information seminars with them. They're going to walk her through the ins and outs of the industry, and then she'll be able to showcase her talents in front of them.
While it's the opportunity of a lifetime, it's also an expensive trip in an already expensive sport. So her family is raising funds in a variety of ways, including a GoFundMe, a Facebook auction, and a hip-hop class taught by Sky.
We are working hard in lots of other areas, like our bottle drives has been huge. We've been going out most nights, in our neighborhood. It's been a small unit, just the 5 of us in a minivan.
And while she has plans of performing at Madison Square Garden or the O2 Arena, she knows it's going to take hard work, patience, and time.
If you don't have any of those 3, then you will just not go anywhere, because there's no such thing as getting famous overnight.
John Flatters, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Our most vulnerable populations are the ones that usually take the most medications. For example, people who are aging, people who have chronic conditions.
One of those aging people is Tricia Holder's grandmother. Holder wondered what the possible dangers her grandmother could face while taking multiple medications at once, a practice which is known as polypharmacy.
The more medications you take, the higher the risk of developing an adverse drug interaction. And this can lead to, if not managed properly, this can lead to potentially dangerous interactions, such as increased bleeding risks.
This is what inspired her award-winning science fair project that launched at École Bellwood Elementary School. Holder created a visual drug interaction checker that helps medical professionals, researchers, and people at home assess how different drugs interact.
For example, patients, like my grandma, who take multiple medications, can use my tool to basically quickly input in their medications and check if they have interactions. And they can use this information to have more informed conversations with healthcare professionals.
Her project was one of 5 selected to represent Windsor, Essex at the 2025 Canada-wide Science Fair in New Brunswick, where she earned multiple awards, including the prestigious Platinum Award, recognizing her as Best in Show for her age category.
I think I'm still kind of in disbelief. It's been a few weeks now, but honestly, it was really surprising.
A surprising experience she will never forget.
I got to meet multiple people from all across Canada and see what amazing solutions they have developed to problems that you and me, we face every single day.
Holder is going to Vincent Massey High School in September. Long term, she's hoping to go to university for biotechnology.
I remember pushing DT with a man and whipping 2 Mazdas.
Drake and Toronto rapper Smiley released a new track titled Too Mazza. It means too crazy in Toronto slang. Perhaps Waterloo Mayor's reaction to hearing her city mentioned in the song.
Well, ABBA did it first, but now that Drake's picking up, I think it's really catching on.
A little tongue-in-cheek, knowing ABBA wasn't referring to this Waterloo. Mayor McCabe is taking the opportunity, though, to sell Drake on the city.
Drake, I'd be happy to give him a tour of our city, or even on the LRT.
Or how about settling down here?
If Drake and his family want to come, I'd be happy to give him a tour of our neighborhoods.
And you can't forget the festivals fit for great performances.
We also have a phenomenal summer lineup and year-long lineup of festivals and events.
Draketoberfest does have a ring to it, but getting the music megastar and some lederhosen may take some convincing. One Wilfrid Laurier University professor who has taught a course on Drake is looking at the deeper meaning of Waterloo's mention.
And I've taught it about 5 or 6 times now. I keep
wondering if that'll be the last time I teach it, and then something else happens that makes me think I should reprise the course.
Now may be the time, considering Drake also references other Ontario cities.
I'm in Barrie, Muskoka, and Brampton.
I think this is a return of some sort, a return to celebrating Canadianness, to highlighting Toronto and highlighting the GTA.
Alexander Boutros says it comes at a good time, especially on the heels of Kendrick Lamar's tour stops at Toronto's Rogers Centre. The rappers have been feuding, and she sees this as a chess move of sorts for Drake to reclaim his roots and fans.
I think all of this is part of a larger move by Drake to recapture and retool his reputation, and particularly his reputation in relation to Canada.
Going as far as calling former NDP leader Jagmeet Singh a goof for appearing at the Kendrick concert. So Waterloo can consider itself lucky that its mention is part of a shout-out rather than a diss track. Spencer Turcott, CTV News, Waterloo.
A century in the sky.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and very grateful and thankful.
The Goodyear blimp took trips over Kingston Tuesday as the airship celebrates its 100th anniversary.
It's one of 3 airships that are in North America for the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. We have about 10 flights today.
A handful of employees at the Goodyear plant in Napanee had a chance to take a ride. Here's a look at the breathtaking aerial view of Kingston from inside the blimp.
It was just unbelievable seeing everything that the area has to offer. It's quite great.
Kylie Hinch was one of the lucky few to take a ride. He's been a Goodyear employee for 26 years.
To actually be on it, and it's something you never imagine.
I'm standing about 100 meters away from the blimp right now, and what's shocking is how big it is in person. Those are the passengers heading onto it right now, and the blimp right here over my other shoulder. It's about 250 feet long. The blimp came from Goodyear's headquarters in Akron, Ohio. From the Super Bowl to NASCAR, the blimp has become a TV staple for big sporting events. Journeys like this are made from time to time to reward employees.
It's exciting for us as well as the plant associates too. So we like to take our associates up for a flight for all the great job they do for the company, and that's what we're doing today.
The boarding process done swiftly by the airship's dedicated team.
We're carrying about 5-6 people in the gondola, so once we get a flight, we load the passengers on one flight, then we get them off and we load the next passengers. So it's a continuous flow.
Jack Richardson, CTV News, Kingston.
3, 2, 1. It's payday! Nothing's gonna stop the sun from shining, and nothing's gonna stop this beautiful day.
Alan Doyle is back on stage in Charlottetown, starring, singing, and yes, even dancing in the musical Telltale Harbor.
You should come see it, because if it goes well, it'll be amazing. Most likely it probably won't go well, and it will be even more amazing.
The show first premiered at the Charlottetown Festival in 2022, where it smashed box office records. Now it's back, bigger and better.
In 2022, because of COVID and all this stuff, we had about 100 ideas for the show, and we got to do about 50 of them. And this one, we're getting to do about 97 of them. Hello, I'm Paul.
Terrific. Based on the film The Grand Seduction, the musical follows a tiny fishing town on a mission to recruit a doctor, and the elaborate lengths they go to make him stay.
And Frank, the guy I play, convinces the town that they can convince this young visiting doctor that this little tiny fishing town is the place that he should spend the rest of his life. And hijinks and hilarity ensue.
Blind you and you're hiding from the truth. The music? Doyle says it's heavily influenced by his Newfoundland roots, along with the rest of the East Coast.
When I started touring around with Great Big Sea, and seeing the Rankins and seeing, the different kinds of music that existed in the other maritime provinces, that all feeds into it as well.
Telltale Harbor is already drawing in fans from far and wide, including one very famous face who made a surprise visit at one of the preview shows this week. Russell Crowe.
It was really nice. It was great, to have him. It was really nice for the other cast, of course, who've never met Russell and the star that big and stuff. But it was also just as a bud, it was really sweet to have that kind of support.
Raise our voices together. It's now or it's never.
Doyle says this gig is driving him outside his comfort zone, and he's loving the ride.
I'm 56, and it's it'd be really easy just to rest on your laurels and to, go sing, the same old songs and stuff. But I'm still so curious about learning how to do new things and to do fun stuff.
Telltale Harbor officially opens Saturday at the Charlottetown Festival and runs until August 29th.
To be honest with you, and what I've been telling people is, I'll get in trouble for saying this, but what else? I always say, like, what's it like in PEI in Summerland? It's amazing. They got beaches, they got, seafood, they got, music and stuff. It's like, it's amazing. It's almost as good as Newfoundland.
For you.
A quick drop-off with a bigger purpose. That's how Adnan Almi sees it.
It's for them to not end up in the garbage, because it's killing the planet. I'm 29 years old and I see the change.
But too often, nonprofits say donated goods get thrown out because they're dirty, damaged, or broken. Renaissance is sounding the alarm.
The percentage of throw has been increasing for the past year, especially for stuff that is broken, like dishes or toys that are totally broken, then we can't repair it.
CEO Eric Saint-Arnaud says people mean well, but the way items are donated can make or break their second life. He's urging Quebecers to skip the bins and head straight to donation centers instead.
If it's raining outside or it's snowing outside, then the merchandise get damaged. If we're gonna do nothing with that thing, then we need to throw it in the garbage.
It's why Renaissance has been moving away from bins since 2008. Today, the organization operates 50 drop-off locations across the Greater Montreal, including Laval and the South Shore. And Saint-Arnaud says it's paying off. More than 300,000 tons of goods received by Renaissance were saved from the landfill last year. From dishes to electronics, Etienne Royer says donating is an easy choice.
For sure, it's easier to just put on the streets and leave it in the garbage, but it's like a better way to give for people who need it.
Marcel Jutras takes it one step further. He donates weekly from his own collection, from friends and family, and even what he picks up off the street, which he repurposes.
I fix dressers to not make too much garbage. Save the earth.
Renaissance does sell donated goods, but prices stay low. Profits also go back into social programs like employment training and reintegration support. For LLME, the cycle of reuse is something he learned early on.
I was educated on that. When I was younger, I used to wear my cousin's clothes, and when they didn't fit, someone else is going to use them.
The system works, but only with public support. 16% of donations to Renaissance last year got tossed. So before dropping off anything, remember that a little effort means a lot less waste. Laurence Brisson-Dubreuil, CTV News.
Tanya Ellis is in the midst of an unexpected journey.
So excited and nervous.
So looking forward to sharing the books in her bag.
He's gonna love seeing these, I'm sure.
These happy memories of baby Tanya and her birth father before he left when she was 5 and she never heard from him again.
We were always just told the same thing, that it was due to mental health issues.
That was almost 4 decades ago, long before we knew what we now know about mental health. And Tanya's feelings couldn't have been more complicated.
Always in the back of your mind that there's something not right with yourself, right? That they leave you.
And while you keep moving forward, perhaps like Tanya, lucky enough to have a wonderful family that includes an adopted dad, everything seems to stop when out of the blue a stranger calls to say your birth father is looking for you.
I mean, I was shocked, and she kept asking me, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I can't even believe this is happening.
Yet 3 days later, Tanya had flown from Ontario to BC to visit a hospice facility in Vancouver's downtown east side to meet her birth father for the first time in 38 years.
Let's give him a big giant hug, and it was just beautiful. It was really nice.
If you ask Glenn how the reunion was for him, the man of few words will show you how he felt.
That's a big smile.
Because it's not every day you get to say how proud you are of the woman your little girl grew up to be.
That's so nice.
And it's not every day that you get to see that she is proud of you for being on the news a couple times before.
God bless.
For striving to spread positivity despite your struggles.
To make people happy.
To make people happy, Glenn said. And there have been countless happy moments after he and Tanya were brave enough to say all the things they needed to say to start turning hurt into healing.
Love.
Love is what Glenn says he's learned life is all about. And although what life he has left is limited,
How big is the love?
Vast.
the depth of love he feels for Tanya and the other family members he's been reunited with is limitless.
I can now feel a peace in my life that I've never felt before.
And the photo album that once featured too many blank pages will now be filled with so many happy memories. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.